I got 8 hours yesterday.
You did?
I slept at 12. Woke up at 8. 8 hours.
That's 7 hours now. Oh no, yeah, it's 8 hours.
No, it's 8 hours, fool. And I felt good when I woke up. No, I didn't. I was still tired. So 8 hours feels the same as 5 hours, cause I go to sleep like at 3. Yeah.
You're not okay. You have your sleep schedule messed up.
I think it's always been messed up.
Well, yeah, as a Mexican little kid, you're like at quinces till like 3 a.m.
True.
Especially your family, right?
Yeah, they party till like tomorrow. They party till tomorrow. Tomorrow morning.
I really was a kid. I just snapped after a while, and then until it napped.
Oh,
like I clearly remember getting 3 chairs together. And I'm like, episode, and then like teleporting to my bed.
You're like, wait a minute. That was a good feeling. Waking up and you're already in bed. And you're like, what?
I one time I took a shower, and I don't know what happened. Like that, yeah, I had like my towel around me, and I guess you know that feeling after taking a hot shower, you just feel really relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I just knocked out like naked, so I woke up naked, real confused. I was like, "Dame ropa," you know, like
real confused. What is up, you guys? How are you guys?
Huh.
You sounded like Clint Eastwood. You know Clint
I know what that is. Is he the guy making a movie right now?
Oh, he is coming out with the movie. Yeah, you're right.
In downtown? In the Stockyards?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like, have you not seen the Stockyards?
Yeah, but I don't think it was him that it was directing you.
Not directing, I think. Oh, is he a director?
Clint Eastwood?
Yeah.
He's an actor. He's
He's the one that...
And a director, though.
He played, like, opposite Ron Swanson. And
no, you're thinking of Sam Elliott.
Fuck. Oh, Sam Elliott. Stockyards right now.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody, to CharroBeans podcast, a Mariachi podcast. My name is Sammy, and this is... What's your name?
Alcohólicos Anónimos. No. My name is Victor.
Yeah.
Why are we saying our names?
I don't know. Just to refresh. I mean, we're in the halfway point of 100, or we're closer to 60 at this point. This is episode 58, if you guys are catching up. If you are new here, and this is your first episode, which some people may be, their first episode, welcome. My name is Sammy, this is Victor, and this is what we do. We talk about mariachi and other things, and we just kind of mix it all up together and kind of make a little conversation here for an hour.
Does it feel when you're taking your basics class?
Like syllabus week?
Basic classes?
Like syllabus?
Yeah. Like, you know, like when you go to college, your math, science, history and stuff.
Right.
They all just like introducing each other. And then like when you take your actual degree classes, they're like, all right, you know what you're here for.
Very true.
16-page essay, you know.
Very true.
First week.
I always enjoyed syllabus week because it was kind of like, the first week is supposed to be syllabus week, so it's like...
It's basically like just the introduction week.
Into the class.
You're still going easy. They're telling you what's going to happen. Yeah. And you still kind of get to chill for another week, kind of.
But no, then there's like the teachers that are like, nah, shit's starting first day.
Yeah.
You should already be up to date on chapter 3 by the time you get into the first lecture. You know?
I hate when some teachers do that shit.
Yeah,
like they send you like an email before class even starts, like, hey, read these
worst.
chapters. You're like, Mamon, I'm like,
like you're like on vacation, like it's like where it's like you guys better be ready. Like, bitch, I'm in fucking New York right now. Like, that's funny.
What's wrong with you, dude? Like, my schedule says the 23rd. Like,
that means we start the 23rd, and even then it's syllabus week. You know, that's very true, dude. Because I feel like the teachers that just kind of start right then and there, like, they just, I think it's based off experience. Like, they already know, like, every single aspect of their class, so they're like, by December or whatever, that's gonna be the last day. So I have everything planned out. But for you personally, as a college student, you're just kind of like, oh, I don't want to work yet. Yeah, it was the worst, dude.
I just hate the ones that don't understand you. You know.
What do you mean?
Like I had one time where I think what happened was I think we got more work, or I was helping out a group,
Okay.
right? So I had to like work the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those days where I got home sunburned. Not home. To
Oh,
Burritos.
Mother's Day?
Was it? Oh, that makes sense because it's around finals.
Mother's Day.
Point is, it was a test.
Yeah, Mother's Day and Dia de la Virgen always line up on finals weeks.
Right.
Of college
I don't know
students.
if it was final, but it was a test, and I asked the professor like, "Hey, can I get a I was listening to alignment. What the fuck? Can I get
an alignment?
I don't know what came to mind.
Were you at a fucking dealership?
For real. I'm like, can I get an extension?
Oh, okay, extension.
Like at least let me do it like the next morning or something.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I told her what happened. I'm like, I didn't tell her I have more gigs because she would be like, what the fuck,
She's
I just told her like
you're whoring yourself out there,
right?
You're gigging. What does that mean? Is that a code for sex?
I basically interpret it as I took a double shift. Like I'm working the whole day.
Yeah.
And she was like, the test is due today. Like you knew this was gonna happen, so like good luck. And I'm like,
damn.
And like, but I didn't know I was gonna get a double shift. Like,
ma'am, life happened.
I need money, like, And she just didn't give a fuck.
What class was it?
I don't know. I think it was a speech class.
Speech.
Yeah, it was back when it was psychology.
Psychology?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I remember because I remember I had an A, and then taking a test brought me down to like a C.
Damn, really? Fuck. Because we've talked about this before, but the balance between mariachi and school can be killer, man. I mean, I remember too. When you have like a teacher that you can't bullshit with?
Yeah.
They're like the teachers. I mean, everybody knows this.
Especially the elder teacher.
In college, I feel like professors, like, there's no in between. It's either they're very strict, they're right on the money, only 5 grades all semester. You fuck up one of those grades, you're at least getting knocked down a letter grade. Like, I knew that for sure. I had business law. That shit was so hard, dude. The guy based his whole grade was off of like 5 tests or 4 tests. Yeah, 5 tests, and he drops the lowest one. So really, it's 4 tests. And if you like bombed one of them, that's your one chance. You have to pass the rest of them to pass. Ended up getting a D, but D's get degrees. But anyway, like the teachers like that are that organized. It's either like this, they're super organized, and they're the ones that are like chill, laid back. They just kind of lecture. Here's the test. You can use your notes. You use your reviews or whatever. But like that balance with mariachi is hard because I remember too. I had a history teacher. He was one of those that are like super detailed about every aspect of his class.
I love my history teacher. And
back when I was playing at Texas State, no, it was an interesting class because like that's how you know he's a teacher. Like he expected no bullshit from anybody. He was like, you come in here, I'm gonna lecture. Literally, it was almost like you had to write down every single thing he was saying because his slides did include everything. Like they would just include like little things, and then his talking points was the stuff that he was actually testing on. So I'd be there in chinga taking notes, dude. Like I'd never written so much in my life, and it was history. At that time, I was playing with Texas State, which is Mariachi Nueva Generación over there in San Marcos, and I remember we had a performance or some shit lined up, and it was, I don't remember what date it was. Let's just say it was September. What's today? September 13th, right? So then I looked on and that's the important too. You look at the calendar of events of your class. Like this is when test 1 is 2, test 3, whatever. Well, anyway, test 1 was on September 13th. So I was just like, fuck. So like, what am I gonna do, right? I talked to the professor, and I was just like, I think it was like the day before, the 2 days before, and I was like, hey, mister, just so you know, like I won't be here September 13th. In my head, I was like, chingon, like I don't have to take that test. I have more time to study and shit. And then he was like, okay. Oh no, I told him I won't be here September 13th. I actually have a performance with the Texas State group. That was always my excuse because it really was. And then he's like, no, you're not doing that. And I'm like, excuse me? What do you mean, sir? He's like, no. You didn't let me know. Like, you have a test that day. There's no way that I can move that date. And I'm like, like, he really had me stumped, bro. Like, he's like, you come to my office. And I was like, okay. Like, I haven't had that feeling since I was a kid, like in elementary school. Yeah. You know, like when in elementary school, you would change your color. Yeah. Dude, that was the worst. Like, you would have green, and green is you were a good kid.
And then yellow, you did like
you were just one little stupid shit, and the teacher was like, "Go change your color." And like, fuck. And if you had red, like it had orange and then had red, I think.
Oh, for me, it's just yellow, green, yellow, red.
Oh shit! So it's like soccer. Yellow, you fuck up once. Red, get the fuck out of my classroom. But I hadn't had that feeling in a long time because I knew whenever I changed my color, like I'm in trouble, bro. Like here and at home.
No, do you remember? I don't know if it was middle school or like late elementary, where instead they gave you like the whole day, and then the teacher stamped your that day. Like whatever you did, if you did good, it was
on your calendar, they put the color.
Yeah. Well, for me it was stamps.
Okay,
and they were like
same principle then, I guess.
Yeah. And if you were bad, and then you had to get your parents to sign it.
Yeah.
That was the worst. Yep. Like you do some stupid shit, and your teacher's like, "You done fucked up, boy." Like, for yo lloraba, güey. Like mi mamá.
Like begging her not to put that. Yeah.
Like my mom knows how to like. I mean, every Mexican parent knows how to like yell at you, like make you feel like shit.
For sure.
So I remember going home and I'm like, just get in the car. I'm like, I'm not, like my voice already cracking.
You're triggering me.
I'm already blushed. I'm just like, but my mom was cool about it. She was like, "¿Pues estás llorando?" I'm like, "It's good."
My parents were like, "I'll give you a reason to cry."
Pretty much.
That's what my parents were like. They were, cause you're right. It was like your calendar. You put for us, it was you put the color.
Yeah.
So like me myself, I was drawing in yellow, bro, or drawing in orange. Tears running down my eyes, like fuck, I'm gonna get this shit when I get home, dog. And it was always my mom would always be like, "Oh, like you don't have to worry about me. You gotta worry about your dad." And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I got home, pegaban, no mames. Yes, they hit me, but I feel like it helped me. I feel like I'm not too much of a fuck up. I wish.
I think maybe it's not bad to, when you don't know what no and yes means yet.
No and yes.
You're like, hey,
You're like, fuck, I probably shouldn't do that again.
Yeah. Because I mean, hearing it tell a kid like, don't do that. Because I hate those parents that their kids doing some stupid shit and they're like, yeah, papi. Yeah.
They're like, yeah.
Meanwhile, the kid is like going mayhem like on the other kids. Yeah. Like, dude, discipline your kid. Like,
if you don't hit your kid, I will, bro. At this point.
I like that video. It's like when you hit the crying kid like at the supermarket.
Okay.
And then like you realize you don't have kids. Like it's just like
like you hit the annoying kid. And you're just like, oh shit, it's not my kid, bro. Like
starts crying.
Damn, man.
You're like, Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo.
Oh man, that takes me back. The fucking colors in school, man.
Professors in college.
Yeah, they don't mess around,
that's some
man.
shit too. Like in high school, remember they're like in college like te van a aceptar, and now teachers are like, I feel sick. Don't come to school. Like, because I had most of my teachers have been very laid back. Even the strict ones, they're good. Like, because I look for them on my professor.
I think in a lot of ways though, it's because they see you as adults. So like they kind of have to be like, okay, like you should know by the time you get to college how to act.
Yeah. Like
as a civilian in society, and that's what I kind of try to tell my students right now. Like, even though they're young, I'm trying to instill them the fact that yes, they are young, but at some point you're gonna go to high school. Yeah. High school, they're gonna tell you the same thing. You get out of high school, you're gonna go to college or a job force, whatever it is that you do. Eventually, you will answer to someone, or you have to act civilized. So that means like, depending on what situation you're in, like someone's gonna be telling you what to do, unless you made up all the rules and you're king, victor of everything, and you just did everything what you want. Most cases will involve you answering to somebody, so you need to know how to act civilly, act with respect to all aspects of people.
I mean, I feel like, what most of them tell us at the beginning of school is like, like life happens, like,
right.
Like at this point in our lives, we have jobs, some have kids, some have like all their classes. Some people are taking like 16, 18 hours.
Yep.
It's like, I like that some teachers understand that, they're like, it's okay. There's just like, you just gotta let me know, like communications,
or at least tell me what's going on. Don't just turn in your work and say nothing. Like tell me what it is actually going on. As long as I'm aware, then I'm probably gonna understand because we've all been through the same shit.
Yeah. That's why I tell like, cause I remember someone asking like, like dealing with Mariachi and school, and I'm like
yeah,
I said, teacher understand, and like your bosses understand too. You know, like most of them like wish they could go to school too.
You're like your mariachi bosses?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, like having a better job basically.
Right.
Cause they have to miss like holidays too, and like they have to go to work.
Yeah.
Like I think last year I worked on Christmas, both days.
You worked on Christmas Day?
Cause I think on Friday, it was Christmas Day, no, the 25th.
Oh yeah, he had said like if we're doing anything Christmas evening, and we're like, yeah, most likely no. What did we gig?
We went to Burros. And no fue nadie, I think.
Oh, did we go to Burros on Christmas? Oh no, let's go back and just be like, nah. Like
pretty sure
in the multiverse, I said no to that one, and then we all just said no. Maybe we were all supposed to go that day, you know. Oh,
yeah,
it is a Friday. Yeah.
Friday.
Well, I don't know.
Went to Burros.
Yeah,
but the 24th, I gave it some other group that they were missing their 24th, their family. Because for Mexicans, you open presents on the 24th.
True.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think most Mexicans, for me, for example, we open shit and we do like all the festivities the day before.
Yeah,
that's just kind of what
and
we're
then you just wake up to like un cafecito y un panecito.
And then
it's like the one day like where you see like Mexican like moms and dads like on their pajamas, like most of the day.
My parents do the same thing. Like, yeah, they wear pajamas all day, and it's like, what the fuck?
I'm just looking at my mom like,
you got shit to do?
Because they're like, my mom always wakes up super early. Like I'm waking up like at 8, and and I check her location. She's like at Walmart or like
at 8 in the morning.
Yeah,
God
or like getting mandado, and I'm like,
I'm
like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo que todo legañoso.
No, pues así es. I don't know. I feel like a lot of mariachi it really is a balance, bro. Like we've talked about this before, but I think we said it before too. It's like, well, yeah, you got to know when to work too. Like you can't let it consume your whole life, because that's.
Yeah.
I don't know if we talked about this specifically.
Like some people don't have a choice. So
and that's what I want to bring up. Like, what about like the people that get like that job that pays them salary, or maybe they're making good money? That's usually when they stop playing. You know what I mean? A lot of people, I've heard this a lot too, where people are just like, yeah, I'm just going to get a job, and from there, I'm just going to stop playing. Like, I'm not going to gig anymore. And I feel like maybe that's also because they like the money that came from it. So now that they have the money, then mariachi is no longer needed. Have you heard that before?
Well, I feel like it's also like you need a break. You know, if you're working a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, what do you do on Saturday? You're gonna go to work.
I'm like,
you know,
gigs.
Like on a Sunday night, you're gonna get home like at 1 in the morning, and then go to your 9 to 5 again.
Yeah,
like you need a break. Like you need time for your family or
process. Yeah,
or if you have a wife, a husband, you know. You can't be at work all the time.
True.
And just have like 3 hours in the afternoon. For what? To take a shower, like do whatever you need to do, like eat, you know? That's not a life. Like when are you gonna go like shopping for something or something that you like to do? Which I get you like to do mariachi, but you're gonna do mariachi every week? Like, you know, you don't like to do like, I don't know, sports, like go watch a game, go like to a concert.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, and then I go to a gig after.
No moment, you know, like I'm playing at the concert.
Like, actually, the gig is at the game, so it's
that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just different situations. I guess. I guess you bring up a good one. Yeah, like letting mariachi consume your whole life. I feel like that is also another thing, especially like if you already have a job, like you said, like 9 to 5. Because I mean, right now, like I love my schedule because it's like weekends I can put off mariachi and just do it on the weekends, and then during the week, I mean, I have my. At the same time, like, remember when quarantine started, we had nothing to do, and then it's like Saturday night, and I'm like, fuck, like, what the fuck do I do around here? I didn't like it because then my wife just gave me chores to do, and I'm like, she's like, pues ya que estás en la casa,
ponte a trapear.
I'm just like listening to podcasts, like fucking rooming up and shit, sweeping up all the trash. I'm like, I would have been like in the middle of a gig in La Peda, wait, no mames. Ándale, sí. No, but yeah, it's very true. I mean, a lot of people retire for that reason. You know what I mean? I feel like I guess bringing that up makes me go back to the fact that you always see those people eventually gig again. I feel like you can never take out mariachi fully from your life.
I mean, you have the time to like take another day. I feel like it's fine.
Yeah, for sure.
Going back every once in a while, it's not bad. But I don't think people will be calling as much because obviously your quality of playing goes down when you're not playing.
You really do lose your chops.
I mean, that happens to me right now, and I'm like, I play every weekend. You know, I just don't play during the week.
Well, how do you feel when you're forced to take out the harp?
Well, I mean, I don't really do much, you know.
But still, like,
I only do like hermoso cariño.
But you still feel like
yeah. No, it feels like new. Te sientes nuevo, you know. Like,
yeah, because you haven't played in a while.
Yeah, you play all choppy and whatnot.
Yeah,
but los glisanos salen con madre.
Right.
Right, or your favorite gets stuck like,
yeah.
Fuck.
Like, damn, I really am trash. You can't even do it.
Eso puede salir bien.
Even the glisandos are trash. No, but yeah, it's very true because I feel, I guess in many aspects I look at it too, like since we're just talking about college, I remember like my major was public relations, which was it's mostly communications. It has to do with, you know, reputations of companies and persons and or entities, industries. That was the field that I went into. But even though that is like the field I went into, I'm still doing mariachi to this day. Yeah. So I guess in some ways I'm saying like back then they had an assignment that was like, since PR deals with identities and making sure that everybody knows your reputation and stuff like that, I think the teacher said like, okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to tell us all. It was like a group thing, so it was like everybody say like what their identity is now. It's like finding your identity about what represents you as a person right now. So like some people were like, usually it's like a hobby. So like a lot of the white girls, their identity was like
Starbucks.
Yeah, for lack of a better term. And then, you know, like there was athletes in there. So they were like, my whole identity is soccer. Like soccer is like my main thing. Like that's what I do and stuff like that. That's what everybody knows me as. So when it came to me, I was like, shit, well, mine would be mariachi, like musician. Like, cause that's the thing that I identify myself with most of my life has been towards mariachi. So looking at that makes you think like, shit, like you can never really fully pry that out. Because now if I were to stop doing mariachi like today and I never did it again, I feel like I'm still in that world because it's all over Facebook, it's all over my YouTube, it's all over my Instagram and all my social medias. Like mariachi, the world of mariachi is always going to be around me. So I feel like the people that even do retire, like they still see it, they're still around it at some point. Like I feel like I would miss it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I mean, we all do, you know. I know a lot of people that have, I guess you can say, retired and it's still coming back. I mean, Paco, you know. Like,
all right, let's talk about that. No. Like, we see you in those pics, bro. What the hell? No. But it's true. It's because once you retire, I feel like you just never fully do. But it's just the kind of thing you just kind of come in and out of with never any lasting effects. Like you could like, you know, just be like, whatever, I'm not going to play anymore. And then someone's like, te echas 2 horas? And you're like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I have nothing else to do. Might as well, you know. But yeah, mariachi is very much something that, like, requires so much balance. Like, it really does. Because you can never go full into the other one. Like, it can never be full. I feel like even if you were in your 9 to 5, that becomes your identity. You know what I mean? Now, say your 9 to 5 is, like, working at an office, you know. So, like, if you're working there 9 to 5, now your weekends just involve, you know, just literally you watching Netflix and doing nothing other than just like there's nothing else. That hobby isn't there anymore. And at that point, become like the office becomes your identity. Like you're the guy from the office that just always works at the office. You get your reports done,
pretty much,
but that's pretty much it. Yeah, there's nothing else that.
Which there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you like your job, if you're happy, that's what matters.
I think you know? There you go.
Like whatever you do, which is as long as you don't dread it. Did I say that right?
Like, you never want to hate what you're doing most of your life.
Yeah, you don't want to hate yourself.
Yeah.
Because I hate myself a little bit, but that's because I'm investing in my future. You know what I mean?
It's because you're a student. I think all students hate themselves at some point.
Mornings especially.
Yeah. Because when I think about school, man, it was not fun. Like people right now, like a lot of my peers are like, I'm going back for grad school. I'm like, why? Like, and it's usually for that reason. You know, they want to make more money. You know, they want to have that master's, which will help you, you know, find a better job. Y todo el pedo. But I'm just thinking about that, like, fuck, like, but I wasn't happy in school. Like, the only reason school was like cool for me was because I got to meet a lot of cool people. You know, I still played mariachi.
A lot of different people.
You meet a lot of people you wouldn't meet anywhere else. So that's kind of where college mariachi did help me out there. When I got to college, I didn't know anybody from Northside. From like, you know, only like 3 classmates went there. 2 other classmates went from Fort Worth to San Marcos. Everybody there was brand new to me. The only person I knew was Robert, who was on the show before. Robert I knew, you know, and Jesse, who played guitarrón at the time for Texas State. And those were the only guys I knew. Going in, I was just like, fuck. Like, I mean, it is nerve-wracking going to, I mean, you probably felt the same when you went to the RGV. And that's even farther. You know, from here, it's like, what, 8 hours? And you're in the valley?
7.
Oh, there you go. Driving from all the way over here to over there, and then it looks like a desert and shit. Like, on the way there, apparently. It's just like, todo solito, ¿verdad?
Oh, no. And there's immigration, like, oh, look.
Right? You're like, nothing to see here, boys. Just smile and wave.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
They're all like, no, it can't be him. He's just smiling and waving, you know.
Pretty much. I mean, I have ¿cómo se llama? A camouflage advantage.
Why? Because
I look white.
If you're Mexican, why are you white?
I mean, there's a lot of white people in Mexico.
No, you didn't get that reference.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome. We're halfway there. No, but yeah, when you got over there, I mean, did you know anybody when you went to the valley?
Not like that I met in person, I think. I mean, I knew like the people that I knew left the year before.
Oh shit.
Yeah, when I was like planning, like I knew Adolfo and I knew Pepe, and they left.
And they left.
Yeah, so I was just like, fuck.
Yeah, man. Because I mean, for you, I never really saw your experience then. Because when you went from here down there, I mean, how old were you? You were like
19.
19. You're still chavalo, you know. So when you went down there, how was that? Just to be like,
which is, I mean, Pancho was a big help.
Pancho is the director of RGV.
Yeah, he was like, most people kind of like stay in these apartments and like, this is this place.
Oh, he gave you a little bit like of an outline of what could help you. Oh, that's good. Yeah, a lot of people won't do that for you, man. Especially if he's a teacher, you know.
Yeah, no, he was very cool about it. He did it. He really helped out.
Yeah.
And after that, I met like Roger, Julian, and Rudy. They were really. It was a tight ceremony. I miss those guys.
But it was for sure. It's like a fish out of water. I would feel.
Yeah, it was very nerve-wraking.
Because you're quiet, man. Like looking
at
back,
that time, I was
a lot more than now.
I was a lot more because now like si puedo sacar plática, you know. It feels very natural, like talking to someone. But back then, I did struggle a lot.
Very reserved, man.
I was like, chica madre, ¿cómo están? Like, ¿qué quieren?
Like all frustrated.
Yeah, pretty much.
¿Qué? Yeah, me llamo Víctor. ¿Qué? You know.
Putados ahorita, ¿quién? I'm like, tú, right? It's just fucking get all aggressive.
Yeah, man. I mean, me, I kind of got lucky. Like Robert was kind of there to guide me. He was just kind of like, oh, like this is so and so. He already knew some of the people, so everybody. And that's the cool thing about mariachi. You get to meet all these people because they all play the same shit. You know, they all come from different backgrounds. I think that's the craziest thing. Because, like we, for the longest, when we were up here at Northside in Fort Worth, you know, like, for the longest when we go to San Antonio, they would think that we didn't know Spanish because we're from the north. And, you know, everybody who's down there, they're closer to Mexico at the valley and in San Antonio in the south.
Which makes sense, but no.
But no, yeah. I'm like, you know that Mexicans can go farther north if they wanted to, you know? Like, they don't just stop.
Like, they get to San Antonio like, no, pe chingado aquí, hasta aquí quedamos. There's like an invisible barrier where you can't cross.
They saw like a taco stand there like, okay, we're home. Bet, pack it up, let's go. You know.
Tacos in San Antonio are not good.
Oh, you've had them?
Because they're burritos.
Well, the tacos in Austin are each like $5.
What?
Yeah, yeah, dude. I went to Austin like 2 weeks ago, and I shit you not, I got 5 tacos and I spent $25.
With drinks?
Oh, with the drink it was 27 because I got
Was it water?
no, but they were charging for water. Yeah. I got a jarritos and that bitch was like $4 a jarritos, bro. You know, it was rough as hell. Austin just be on some like, oh yeah, we're in California over here, and the tacos were trash. And I was like, this is it? And then someone there is probably like, these are the best tacos.
I had
in
a
town.
friend. I was like,
Fuck,
oh, this happened twice. I forgot who it was, but I was it was in Antonio. And like, I was like, hey, wait, se me antojan unos chilaquiles, like, you know, verdes con frijol y papa y quién sabe qué más. And
You
he's
hungry,
like,
bro?
huh?
Like, you hungry, bro?
I'm hungry,
Oh,
but
okay.
that's not the case.
That is
So it's like, bro, I know it's just the place. Let's go. We went, and me dieron pinches migas, güey. Like,
Were you
era
disappointed?
huevo revuelto con tortillas. And I'm like, ¿esos no chilaquiles? They're not even spicy. And then I was like, next day I was like, wait, se me antojan unos tacos. Like, como de tripa o de asada or something. And he was like, I know the place, bro. And then he took me, and I'm like,
Taco Bell?
right? That was a Mexican place.
Taco Bell?
It really, like, kind of overhyped it up because I got there and looked like real Mexicano.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oiga, no tiene tripa. And he's like, no. I'm like, hígado? No. I'm like, ¿qué tiene?
Entonces, ¿qué chingas
And like,
trae?
tenemos pastor, barbacoa, whatever. And I'm like, okay, pues deme eso. And then they brought me like un burrito de eso. And I'm just like,
Why is this a tube right now?
why is it soft? Like, what the fuck?
Why is it soft? That's what she said.
But yeah, not to bash on. It was good.
Maybe
but
we
it's
went
just
to the
not
wrong
what
places.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe we went to the wrong places.
Like, it was good, but I had something different in my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I was like, I wanted something, but I got this instead. And I'm like, I'm disappointed at some level. But
no,
it
I'd
was
be
still,
disappointed.
it was good.
Yeah.
But it's not what I wanted.
Did you at least spend like a reasonable price?
No me acuerdo. It was back when I had money. Like, cuando trabajaba bien, so I was just like...
Yeah, ahora que soy pobre. Oh, man. No, yeah, man. What's the time about? Oh, yeah, just like the fish out of story, you know, like fish out of story. What the fuck? Fish out of water story.
There you go.
Yeah, like just knowing that, going into a city that you don't know. And a lot of people are experiencing this right now because so many, like we talked about this with Mariachi getting bigger in the educational system, and so many high schools and middle schools, you know, implementing a Mariachi program. Now, when they're going into higher education and they go to like a college, you know, I mean, I can't speak for every college that has a Mariachi, but I know, like, you know, San Marcos has a program, Austin, the Valley have programs, California, cities in California have college programs. Like, they're everywhere at this point. So, like, those same people that, you know, learned in their little town or their big town, and they're taking their experiences over there, a lot of them are having to go through this new thing where, I mean, when you go to school, think about it. You go from K through 12, you know, so you knew people in kindergarten and also in high school. Like, you saw those same people.
I went to kinder in Mexico.
All right, then. Middle school. Like, some of those people you saw in middle school were also in high school. Like, for me, some people that I knew I went to elementary school with, and, you know, we graduated at the same time. But when you leave your city for the first time and you go somewhere else, you're like, what the hell? You know, like, you're having to literally meet brand new people.
I was excited.
No, I was excited. I
like,
mean, I wanted to leave Fort Worth.
I always wanted to, like, live by myself and, like, you know,
go to another city, you know, and just be like your own person. So that's what a lot of people are doing, you know, and that's what I did when I went to San Marcos. Like, I wanted to leave. Like, I wanted to go somewhere that wasn't Fort Worth, you know, live in another city. And now when I go back there, like, it always feels like such a vibe, like, to actually be, like, in my college town. Like, it actually feels cool because you're like, I was here, like, for 4 years of my life, you know. Yeah. At this point, it's been a while since I've been back, but every time I do go back, it just feels like I'm back in school again. It's so cool. Plus, Texas State looks like Hogwarts. It actually looks like a school. It's badass, dude. I love Texas State. Texas State is the shit. Should we talk about the weekend?
It was good. It was a lot of work.
It was
I
a
feel
lot
like
of work.
I think everything mostly happened on Saturday.
Uh,
What did we do on Saturday?
we did a lot.
We went to Decatur.
Did we work on Friday?
Oh yeah, we went to.
What did we do?
We went with. I don't know his name, but you say the guy looked like El Vaquero from Sonidos America.
Yeah, to that person's backyard.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we didn't.
Backyard, like that thing was a whole terreno, bro. Like,
He had this. Yeah, so we played for this guy who they're like returning clients. We always see this family, and this guy had like a nice house. It looked like an hacienda, right? Like a mini hacienda. It just looked like a novela. It looked like a novela set in some ways because they were making like quesadillas, which really slammed at the end. I was like, because I was hungry. So when we pulled them out, I was like, I was like, I find this shit so good right now. I don't know why. It's just fucking delish. I love it. But it was really good, and I was very enjoying it. And then, then we played like 4 more songs at the end.
Yeah.
We played. How long was it? 2 hours?
3 hours. No.
Nah, 2 hours.
But we played an extra hour, no?
Did we?
I think we did.
You right. Yeah, it was a 2-hour gig that turned into 3 hours. It was this guy's birthday.
Yes.
¿Y qué pasó? Okay. Nothing happened there.
There were little mariacheros, like they were asking for like mariachi stuff.
The second song they asked for was Fiesta en Jalisco. Which the only people that ever asked for that are people that have actually listened to like Mariachi Vargas, dude. Because if you think about it, like no one, you would never hear that like on the radio or anything, would you?
No.
I would never hear like, well, maybe back then. Who knows?
No,
I don't even
there's
know.
some radio stations that still play like Javier Solis, dude.
No, yeah, but like specific Mariachi Vargas
I don't know.
arrangements and shit.
I don't know.
The only song I ever hear that's like original Mariachi Vargas, like actual recordings, you know what it is?
¿La fiesta del mariachi?
No.
Mariachi Loco?
No.
What? ¿Sonera?
It's anytime La Michoacana comes on the radio. Like the Michoacana is a meat market here, a Mexican meat market in the area. And when they're talking about the carne specials, La Culebra plays.
Oh.
They're like, bum, 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 bum. Aquí tenemos todas las tripas. Carne de res.
Oh,
And it's like, bum, bum, bum,
I remember that.
bum, 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 ba-da-da-da. You could just hear in the background. And as it goes back to the conversation we had about, mariachis, like, we know them as greats, but like outside of the mariachi world, a lot of them wouldn't be able to tell you like who they were, what they played, or anything like that. Like regular people.
Mm-hmm.
Like you ask them like who was Victor Cárdenas, and they're like, I don't know, pero quién es este
Bad Bunny. Right.
Bad Bunny. They're like, oh my god, I'm going to his concert. I spent $5,000. I'm like,
Fuck.
I love it. But yeah, it's the only time I ever hear any like Mariachi Vargas like on the radio. Other than like obviously the recordings they did with like Jose Alfredo and Chente and all that other. Or did they ever record with Chente? Well, then there you go. That's the only time I really hear them, other than like my actual like Spotify playing them and stuff. But they asked for Fiesta en Jalisco, like this second song that we played, and we're like, oh okay.
They're wild.
¿Y qué pasó allí? I was just happy we got food at the end because I was hungry. That was Friday. Oh, we didn't go to Seafood Shack, which was kind of sad.
I mean, burritos?
También?
We went to Seafood Shack.
Yeah, we went to Seafood Shack. We went to...
Like, where'd you go? Like,
right. Where was I? I was at home. No, we didn't play burritos on Friday. Someone else covered us. Next morning, though, where did we meet? Oh, we went to QT on Blue Mountain.
yeah.
Which means we were close, so that was good. And we headed straight to the Misa.
Yeah, it was in Decatur, I think.
It's the Misa where Arturo didn't go last time.
Yeah, it was a long drive. I kept being like...
It was a long drive.
Because every time we took an exit, I'm like, oh, we're almost here. And then it turns into country. I'm like, where the fuck are we going? Like, no manches.
Like, I saw more cows than people at that
Bro.
point. At that point.
Look at those dogs over there.
Yeah. All you can hear is, like, the bugs. Like, the
crickets.
What are they called in Mexico? The ones that make a shitload of noise?
Las cigarras?
Chicharras? They're the ones that go.
Unos cigarros, ¿no?
We call them chicharros.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Must be like different regions. I don't know.
Cicada.
But they're big motherfuckers. They're like this big,
Yeah.
and they got like big old wings. And you could just hear like in Mexico where we go.
They're loud.
They're loud as shit.
When it's that season, they're just it sounds like a fucking scary movie.
Because there are like 50 of them.
Yeah.
There are hundreds
50,
of
they're
them. Like yeah,
a
shit.
lot.
Like there's a lot of them going in at once. So it's like and it's usually like one has to start it.
It's very deafening. Like,
Yeah.
Like, but yeah.
You just like having a conversation with like your Mexican girlfriend. You're like, "Sí, te amo, eres toda mi vida." And you just hear in the background like,
You're like, I will light this forest on fire. Like, I will do it.
No, couldn't think about it. You can't be romantic in my town in Mexico, I guess, because you would just hear that, or like say you were talking like they're over there in Mexico too. I remember like being young and we were walking like to my grandma's house. You would just see like the couples that are you could tell that they're supposed to be home, but they're out there just hanging out with their girlfriend and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, it's like 1 a.m. You know, it's all dark and shit. You could just see like probably making out, and then they saw us, and they're like, "Oh shit!" Like maybe they hint it, like, and they just kind of like stand there hugging.
Just like,
and it's just awkward as hell. But I'm pretty sure when they're talking, they're like, "Sí, te amo, mi amor," and it's just in the background you just hear like that, and you also hear the frogs. They're like,
I mean, country is very loud.
fuck yeah,
like,
dude. Sounds coming from everywhere, and
yeah.
me espanta, güey.
Sometimes you hear weird ass sounds. Like one time we got stranded on a gig. It was a long time ago. It wasn't with this group.
You got stranded?
Yeah, we came back from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And there's like a little patch where it's just forest.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, we kept hearing like cows. You heard it was scary at first. We're like, what the fuck is that? We were usually like pinche chupacabras, like
that brings me to what we talked about the other day.
What?
You know, the last podcast where we finished at 4 a.m. And then after that podcast, if you watch the last episode, so it was legit 4 a.m. when we finished up. Turned off the camera, turned off the mics and everything. I said bye to Victor here, like outside my door, probably like at 4:10, 4:15 in the morning. I was like, "Hey man, just message me when you get home," which you didn't.
Oh, you told me that?
Yeah, I was like, because like you were a little bit tired, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we're both tired. It was late night, you know, so we were ready to go home. I was ready to finish. It was a short podcast. We only did an hour and 6 minutes, and we were like, "Yeah,
well, there was no Charro chat." So.
Yeah, and there was no Charro chat too. Yeah, that takes up some time. Yeah. So
look, what happens?
Point is, yeah, go ahead.
You know, it happens to a lot of people. For me,
not to a lot of people.
Shut up. For me, when I get tired, like it's not like heart hallucinations, but it is to the point where like if I see something from like my peripheral or something I'm not focusing on,
okay,
like I think it's a person, you know.
Which I thought was creepy as hell because before you left, you said that to me.
Yeah,
you were like when I get tired, I start hallucinating, and I'm like, huh? What? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, like if I look at something and then I see this, like that would look like a body, you know. I mean
bro, don't say that shit. Like, shit, my wife works with CSI, dude. That could be true. You
okay, know? Whatever. But you know, or like not. Sometimes it's not people. Sometimes it's just like I think it's like an animal. Because to me it'll flicker, so it looks like it's moving.
Okay.
You know. So sometimes when I'm going home, it'll be like I'll see like a person, but it's like a bush. You know.
Okay.
What's creepy is like sometimes I think they're like moving, but it's like a fucking stoplight. I don't know, like.
Which you could, you know, that it's possible because like, when you're tired, I think they've compared tired to the unawareness of being like being drunk.
Like drunk,
yeah, because they're two very different things, but you are no longer in control as far as senses go, like 100%.
Yeah, your senses are slowed down.
Right. So yeah, and then
like your reaction time is very slow, but yeah, right. And I think this is a psychological thing. I'm about to explain what happened, right? So I'm driving home. Obviously, you know, I'm seeing whatever I'm seeing. I'm very focused on the road. The AC is like top cold. I'm listening to like music, whatever.
Yeah.
I get home and like I'm listening to music, right? And it's usually like I've already heard it before because I have like Apple Music.
And it's on shuffle.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to a song, right? And I remember like I park, right? I'm about to turn everything off, and I'm listening to a song, right? And I don't know.
You remember what song it was?
It had a harp in it.
You just told me there was whistling involved.
Yeah. Well, point is, I already knew the song, right?
Okay.
Like I've heard it before.
Okay.
So let's say it's like, I don't know, like ella, right? Like da 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 da. But what I heard was like, fuck, I can't whistle.
You gotta lube them up, bro. Try again.
I heard like a whistle. Like it was a beautiful whistle, but like
It was clean.
I was like this song doesn't have whistle, and then I felt like air behind my seat, you know, and I was like,
nope,
that didn't come from the bocinas, because the bocinas are in front, and I heard it from the back, so I'm like, here we go. So I'm like, I never looked back. I was just like, I turned everything off, you know, like I have this thing, you know, turn the AC off, lights, radio like down, and I'm just like, nope. I'm like looking straight. I'm like, nah, ni merga. So I'm just like, so I go in the back, get my bass, and I'm like, nah. And that was just fucking scary, you know, like, like imagine it's like 4 in the morning, like pitch black, and you hear like whistling in the back of your car. And this is what I think it is.
I'll leave the whole car, bro.
Right?
Con todo y llave.
Just burn it. Just like it,
just burn it.
It's like, you know, like sometimes your subconscious plays with you.
Yeah, it plays.
Because in my town we have this thing where like if you hear whistling like that, it's porque hay una bruja like nearby.
Oh, I've heard little shit like that. Yeah, about
right.
my
like
town
if you hear like whistling like behind you or like somewhere, it's because there's like someone of that nature around you. So that's what I think. Like my head is playing with me. It's like, hey, wait, like te van a robar, you know, like. And I'm like, nah, because my mom has heard that too. She's told me once that like she's getting out of the car and she hears like a whistle and she's like. She's like,
no, mames,
but like, yeah. So that's what I think it was. I don't know. I'm still alive, you know.
I feel like we're all conditioned though, as Mexican, or Mexican Americans, like from an early age, that ghosts are real, or at least like spirits are real, because like from a kid, I mean, they told us the stories of La Llorona and shit. But I remember even like as a kid, like my uncle's coming up to me, dude. My grandpa in Paz Descanse, like he would always give us like ghost stories, because I mean he lived in El Rancho. So like he always had the craziest shit. Like my sister always talks. My older sister always talks about him, because apparently I don't think I heard all of them, but my grandpa, I guess, tenía más confianza a ellos because they were older. So all he did was talk about like the weird shit that would happen on my grandpa's land, like ghosts walking around or like noises, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm kind of glad he didn't tell me, dude, because like I'd be staying there when we go to Mexico. So I'm like, if I would have known those stories, I would have been like, hell no, I'm not staying there, hell no.
There's a lot of stuff that happens, and it's very like I said, a lot of the time, or I don't know, but I wanna think like it's just your head playing with you.
Yeah,
like it has that info, so it's like you don't want to hear it, but like it just happens, you know.
I guess, cause like me, anytime I hear this kind of shit, I'm a bitch, bro. Like the back of my neck is just like. ¿Tienes miedo? And it's just like moving around.
What makes me feel better is this meme that I saw that like if like vengeful spirits did exist.
Wait, start over, huh?
Like what makes me feel better?
It's
like this tweet or meme that I saw. It's like if vengeful spirits did exist.
If vengeful spirits did exist.
Yeah. Like white people would not be around.
Oh, because they would get back at white people?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That
you know,
makes sense.
like you know why though, right? Like slavery and stuff.
Yeah,
like that, you know?
I know why.
Okay, I'm like,
I don't think you need to explain to me. Even today,
that makes me feel better. Like you know, like if like stuff like that could get away from him, like
that's true.
I'm like, it makes me feel a little bit, or like you know, you're in the United States, like let's say La Llorona, like. She's from Mexico. Like,
what's she doing here?
Yeah, like
she get a visa or something.
Sacar un pasaporte, you know, like va a ir al consulado, no es para chingarme la madre a mí, you know, like
I'm like, she went through fucking border patrol.
Right.
Like Llorona. You're telling me she went through customs? Like,
I'm like, how she get her visa that quick, bro? Like, send me the link, you know? Like,
they want
at this point, I just want answers.
And you're telling me she didn't fly? Like, you're telling me TSA let like Llorona on, but with me without toothpaste? They're like,
bro,
they're like, that's too much.
But they threw my fucking gel out. They did that once. Like,
yeah, they do.
Hell, and they're like, this shit gotta go. Like,
for all right, this shit dangerous as fuck. So, like, and then now at the competition, you look all nappy, like nothing is hell, way.
Yeah, I got that from Franco's Camilla. Like, if you're scared, just joke about it. You know, just
I
like,
mean,
make fun of it. You know, like makes you feel better.
Yeah, for me, it's
like you're on it tonight. Like, oh, Aussie,
He's like, I like talking shit, all right,
bro.
She's like, I'll get that overnight shipping FedEx tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow morning.
Now I'm scared.
No, but for sure, yeah, I'm the same way. Like, if I hear a noise, I'm just like, oh, it must have been the wind. And then if it's like I'm like, oh, it's just the house.
Turn into like
the house is
same
settling.
bolt. You're like,
huh?
Turn into the same bolt. You're like,
right?
This is fucking speeding up.
Yeah, nah, dude, I don't deal with that shit. So like, that's my dog's problem. I'm like,
right?
She's like, she's supposed to be the guard dog, you know. So.
All right. That shit's tripping, man.
We didn't talk about more shit. You could just watch the vlog, I guess.
Oh yeah, it should be out by then.
Maybe. If you gotten this far, you probably already saw in the vlog what we did this weekend. It was kind of fun. Nothing else worth mentioning, I guess, since we're running out of time. We had a lot of work. It was like 7 hours.
Yeah, we got paid well.
We got paid very well. I was like, damn, hell yeah! And then I just drove home like,
I was getting paid well, but you know, it was a little bit extra.
Yeah, I was just like counting it out. I was like, oh, you win! You know, like it just kept going. I was like, cheating on. I was like,
you're like, babe, McDonald's is on me today.
Anything off the dollar menu. And she's like, what about a Big Mac? Nani merga.
I said chicken nuggets.
You need that extra patty? No. You got 57 right. You got 57 cents worth of extra patty. I'm like, give me that shit. Let's get into Charro Chat. Did anybody else ask anything at the end? Nope. Ni meres. Okay. So, everybody, this is Charro Chat. Alejandro123 says, what song are you guys currently practicing? What are we currently practicing?
We're supposed to do Wapango Torero. I learned that for nothing.
Oh, yeah. Arturo sent me Wapango Torero by Lola Beltran.
Yeah.
Which has a lot of little weird shit. And when he says learn it, most of the time he doesn't give us music. So it's literally like us listening to it and just figuring out the key, figuring out the chords. For you, figuring out the bass line. It's just kind of going from there. I had forgotten about it until, because apparently it was for Friday. So like Friday comes and then you guys are all like talking about it. I'm like, wait a minute.
I was able to be that kid because like at the end of the gig, I was like, hey, we never play Wapango Torero.
Oh yeah,
I was able to be the kid like, hey, I was supposed to train the homework like before like class.
Right before we're about to leave, and you wanted to remind Arturo that we didn't play it. I was kind of nervous because like I didn't really know it, so I was kind of like low key nervous, like, hey, wait,
I'm like just like tugging on his suit. I'm like,
oh, like Mister, like he just keeps saying.
We didn't play it. No, and Arturo would be like, oh yeah, cuatro.
And I'm just like, fuck. No, it's because usually I'm good about that. It's just that it's been a busy week, man. It's the beginning of school, so I'm like still figuring out all of these things. But even then, like, yeah, I should have buckled down and practiced it. But I mean, usually we hold our post though. You know what I mean? Like we know our stuff most of the time.
I mean, just if I feel like if I fucked up a song, I just listen to it on the way home.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the way to do it. Like I know for sure, I have learned the harder songs based on the fact that I didn't do well on them the last time. And if it's a shitty feeling to be like, fuck, like no me la sé, dude, like, or if it's a brand new song you never played before and you're like, man, this one has a lot of stuff, like in your mind you should be like, for next time, which I know they're gonna ask, you should probably practice that.
And I mean, our boss was very into it because I mean, Aunt was used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I first came in, like, I mean, the rep is different in every group.
Very
so
different.
I remember, like, he would get very, like, hey, write that down. I'm like, yes, sir.
And when you came in, you already had some experience, too, you know, like...
yeah, but I had a
us.
different rep, you know? Like,
No,
the group
but-
I was in, like, it was...
No, but you were with Allende for a little bit before you went over there.
Oh, but that was, like, years ago.
Oh, I guess so, yeah.
Not much as I mean.
Because they have... This, I'm saying because they have certain arrangements of stuff, you know?
Yeah, everybody has their own little...
Shindigs.
No pasa nada.
But, yeah, like the ones we're currently practicing right now, I can't really think of any that we're currently... Other than that one, and the last piece of music he gave us was Fruta Madura by Pepe Aguilar,
yeah.
which we played this weekend for this continued customer. She always hires us. She always asks for that song. Apparently, that's her song. But so is all the other ones that she asks for. She's like, mi canción, mi canción. And I'm like, this one? Like, no, la otra. And I'm like, so it's not your song?
I don't learn it just because of her. I don't like her. Right, all salty. I'm like,
Yeah. It's because they tend to like ask for a lot, which isn't a bad quality, but I feel like it's the way they ask it. You know, they're kind of
yeah, like well, it's in there funny. You know, because they're like,
oh, you brought
like,
up a good
they're like,
point,
hey,
yeah.
you're on the clock. Hey, like, why you talking so much? Like, get to playing.
Yeah.
And like, she looks at her friends like, ha ha.
For approval.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said that. You were all like, it's because they're not funny, but they're trying to be funny to each other.
Yeah.
So like when they're telling jokes, they're laughing at them, but we're just like, just let us play. Like,
yeah, like, we're trying to figure out this song for you. Like, you asked for it.
Like the pause is literally so that we can figure this shit out for you. You know, right? Or like they'll be talking to us.
Yeah.
Like los clientes will come up to us and start talking and stuff. They're like, hey, like, can y'all like start playing? Like that's why we hired y'all. And it's like, y'all are the ones talking to us. What do you want us to do? Like,
it's always that lady and her other friend. She's always like,
the one that's there. Yeah.
¿pueden tocar esa canción? No se la saben, ¿verdad? And I'm like,
like before we even try to play it,
like,
she's like, pero no se la saben, ¿verdad? And we're like, let us try first.
I'm like, we're not that close, you know? Like,
yeah. No, man. But yeah, that's the Fruta Madura was the one we kind of went over, which I'm still struggling with because like it'll be out of nowhere.
We only play for her.
Yeah, no, literally, it's a very specific song. Like it.
I think the last time we played that was, I mean, a party that she was at too. But I was like,
yeah,
I want to say like 3-4 months ago.
I don't remember.
It was a while back.
It was a while back. I think it was still no, it wasn't cold. I don't.
No,
I don't know
it was summer.
Yeah, it was summer. Like probably like June or something. That's the last time we played it. But it's a very specific. Oh man, that's a very specific song. So my bad. But we do our best on it, I guess. But we don't really practice that much. I can't see. La Niña y su violín says, why are plantas called plantas? I thought it was because it's like you're planting yourself there. Like, that's where you kind of based out of.
Yeah, it's where you're rooted.
There you go. Damn, you just blew my mind.
I think that's what Dr. G said. Because he's talked about it, about the difference about mariachis taloneros and mariachis the show.
What are we?
Taloneros.
Both? Taloneros? But we have a planta.
Yeah, which we do talon at, and we're a working group. That's what he meant. That's what he meant by that.
Then what's the show?
Like Vargas.
Oh. Well, then I guess so, yeah. Because, I mean, the two plantas that we do have, they're there not only for, obviously, for us to do talon and get paid or whatever, but they are very much the center of business.
Yeah.
Because so many, I mean, the back of our business cards literally say.
It's like having a plant and you're watering it because you're constantly there. It's growing. Because clients keep going. That's why we keep getting more work.
Because every card that we hand out after the gig, the back has both of our plantas. The back of the card. So it has the first one and the second one. And I think on there it says, like, come watch us live.
Yeah.
Like, if so many people like to check out the goods before they actually do. I mean, that's the whole reason you test drive a car before you buy it. You know, you kind of go see it. You look at it, you're like, okay. And then you drive it, and you're like, okay. And then you make your final decision. So that's really what a planta is. So that maybe some people are interested and they want to go watch you first. Because the worst feeling I think I could have is like hiring a group and then like only like 4 people show up. Because I've never seen their card. I've never seen videos of them. I've never seen anything about them other than I have a number. So many groups are like that. Like, I mean, I'm sure people have hit you up like, hey, like, can I talk to your boss, or like, can you come out to play, like, and that's usually because they know you and stuff like that. But there are also the people that don't know anything about mariachi. They don't know you or anybody, and they'll pay to have a group, but they're going based off of price. So they're like, oh, it's a $200 group. It's better than 500 that we or 600 that we charge. So they bring out that group, and there's only like four of them, and none of them know how to play, and none of them can play rep. So it's like there's got to be a balance there, and the only way to really see them is if you have a planta. You can actually see how they sound like live.
And also it's on the talon. So I mean, it's something that's constantly there. Like with a planta, I think with one, I think you have like a good 150 if you do talon.
150 what? Dollars?
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
I
the
guess
day.
for the night.
Which is better than nothing.
Right, it's better than doing nothing on a Friday and just spending money somewhere else. But yeah, for sure. I think that's why I planta. I mean, that's kind of where your home base is. You're rooted there, and that's where you can attract even more business. Bring customers and todo el pedo. The Princess 88 says, "Would you sing a song if nobody knew it but you? Would you sing a song if nobody knew it but you?" Well, we can't. Oh, well, we kind of do that already. Where Arturo will be like, he'll say like the name of a song. Where like, both of us are like, what? Like we don't know that song. And he's like, tan sol, güey, ranchera. Tú nomás dale primera, luego segunda y luego tercera. Así le vas.
But he's saying if we do that.
Well, we can't. We can't have an armonía section without the melody or the singer. There's nothing that we can play together.
You can't play and sing.
You're gonna play and sing? So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing that us as the armonía can do to play by ourselves or anything like that. So
I mean, some people do it. Some people are good at it.
What are we gonna do?
Like playing and singing.
No, yeah, but
not us.
We're not built like that.
Right.
Though. That's what I'm saying. We rely on the violins and the trumpets and everybody with the melody to actually provide us something to, because really the armonía section is a rhythm, so we're there to provide that rhythm to the melody. But we could just have a. It's like I see it like the equivalent of like a drummer. So like, it's like, can you imagine a concert with just a drummer, or like a song with just the drummer? It would be a drum solo, but it wouldn't be an actual like song. If that makes any sense, I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Rogelio3 says, y'all think Toby Maguire Toby Maguire and Andrew Garfield showing up in No Way Home? They better be, because boy, so. Oh my god. So I watched Spider-Man since I was a kid. I watched it. I had the PlayStation 1 game on my PS2. If you play it again, like today, it's kind of trash.
The second one is still good.
I never played the second one.
The second one is really good. I
played the first one, though.
Yeah, the first one is trash. You're like swinging from the clouds.
And then if you fell, you died. Yeah. And it was like, you're Spider-Man. Yeah. Well, how the fuck do you die if you fall
I remember playing that one first and be like, that's kind of... Because you could see like all the cars. I'm like, I kind of want to go down there.
Yeah.
and then the second one just fulfill all my dreams. You can like go down there and like walk and like...
Yeah.
You're Spider-Man, You're like swinging, you're just dropping. Mm-hmm. You would do that thing where you drop from that tallest building, the tallest one.
On Spider-Man?
Yeah. You want to do that cool thing where you like swing down last minute and you're like barely grazing the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But you do it too late, so you just like...
Splat.
That shit hurt because, it didn't hurt, but it made me feel weird because you're falling and then like the controller vibrates really hard.
Yeah.
So it's letting you know you killed Spider-Man. But
yeah. No, yeah, I watched Spider-Man all my life, technically since I was a kid. So I mean, to see those two with Tom Holland would be pretty badass. I mean, I'm a Marvel nerd. I love Marvel.
Oh, you're right.
I love watching all those movies. Yeah, dude, I'm a cry. I mean, when I saw Doc Ock, I was like,
dude, I
know
felt
him.
Something. We saw it together.
We saw it together. Yeah.
I felt a lot of stuff when I saw it.
If you do not watch like superhero movies yet, like you should just start at this point. Like it's not gonna stop. Like today, the Hawkeye trailer dropped too, and it's like this shit ain't stopping. So if you're not even up to date, you might as well like start by now.
What's cool about it is just like all the questions you can ask, and then like see it unravel later on.
Mm-hmm.
Like Infinity War and Endgame, like the way they, what's gonna happen essentially, because it comes from a comic book,
right?
Like it's happened, but like you don't know how it's gonna get there. That's what's really like. And then Like, I mean, just Iron Man. Like, it's something you've been seeing your whole life.
Yeah.
Like, Iron Man came out in 2004? 2008? So, like, see, like, that's when...
I was
like,
in 8th grade, dog.
Yeah, like, I was little. So,
Yeah.
you grow up with him, and then you see his big arc and in Endgame.
Yeah. No,
Like-
yeah. I mean,
Like,
what I'm saying is, yeah, right? It just like affects you. I mean, seeing thing
still
like
too soon.
everybody that saw that in the beginning is now a whole ass adult, dude,
Yeah.
with their own kids. So
That's why right now, like, a lot of people are like, that's like, I don't know, nerd. And I'm like, dude, like, I've been waiting 10 years for this.
I think it was in the van with Victor, who was there. He's like, oh yeah, they're gonna bring out the old Spider-Man.
Oh,
And-
yeah, I'm like, what?
Yeah, that shit hit you because you're all
No,
like old.
He called it the old Dr. Octopus.
Yeah, old Doc.
And I'm like, old?
like, fuck, bro. And I was like, damn, like, it's because he's young. He's 18.
Yeah,
he's
he's
19.
18,
No, he
like-
just turned 19.
That means he was born, like, what, 2000,
I think he was born.
like 2003?
He was born when the
2004?
first movie came out.
Yeah. So,
There
yeah,
you
to
go.
him, they're like reliquias. You know,
Yeah,
like-
so he was like that old ass movie. Like, oh shit, fuck, old ass.
like, still wait.
So yeah. That's why I'm excited because I'm an adult and I'm
Yeah.
seeing this shit that I saw as a kid.
Those were good movies, man.
Nostalgia is very powerful.
Like those Sam Raimi movies had really good villains.
Yeah, everything was.
You
just
know,
very
like
good.
everything Dr. Octopus wanted to do was give you free energy. You know?
He
Did
wanted
you-
the tritium.
You never let him do his fucking experiment. He had it.
Fucking nerds.
Like,
And last thing, this is a Charro confession. I took a shit once and then had the toilet wouldn't flush. Had to see it through, my boy.
that's pesado, bro. I'm guessing it was at a gig.
Yeah,
at a house?
right. He's just, can I use your bathroom? The neighbor. No, I'm guessing. Yeah, if it's at a gig, I talked about this. Like, if I really have to go, I have to go. But yeah, that is. I mean, it hasn't happened to me. I mean, it did happen to me when I was a kid. I wasn't a mariachi yet. Where like you shit at someone's house in Navaja way, so you're like, fuck. So I tried to make sure that like there wasn't anybody at the door to walk in and be like, oh, it was Sammy who fucked it up, you know. So I tried to make sure nobody was there, and if I really couldn't get it down, I was like, well, it's the homeowner. It's in God's hands now, you know?
Right.
So I would just dip and act like,
Plomero's like, sí, cabrón.
yeah, and I would dip and just act and see someone else's problem at that point.
Like,
You know,
could have sworn it went down. Yeah.
they're like, all right, who took a shit over here? And it's like, I don't know.
You're like, I don't look at my creation. Just
I don't look back. I look forward at all
Yeah.
times. I never look back. No, but yeah. If you did that during a gig, most likely because you had to go, bro. But yeah, just be careful because I mean you're playing a wild game there. Because at the same time too, maybe you didn't clog it up. Someone walks in and it smells iffy
Bro.
in there. They're gonna be like,
they're
Chama-
like, ¿quién fue el cagón? Que pinche-"
and if they see you as the mariachi and they hire you again, they're gonna be like, es el mariachi cagón. Or,
Bro.
hey, Stinky, get over here. You know?
For
Mexicans don't forget, dude. So
For real, dude.
yeah.
To
You
this
want?
day.
Well, how do you feel about this episode?
It's good.
It's a good episode.
It's a little off rails, but no pasa nada.
That's how.
I tried to relate it. If you notice, I try to relate it to
Yeah.
Mariachi.
Yeah. No.
Try-
Yeah, we do.
Try
I
my
mean,
best.
we talk mariachi here and other things, among other things. So if this was your first episode, we appreciate you guys listening. This is episode 58 of CharroBeans podcast, a mariachi podcast. What else? We'll be back next week,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. All right.
Pretty solid.
Like, subscribe,
Bye.
add a friend, comment, share,
All of the above.
favorite, all the above. Rate us on Apple Podcasts, helps us out. And we will see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your day
Bye.
and week.
Yeah.
But